Hey guys, it's me. This weekend I'm going to have a few videos that I'm going to be posting since it's Mother's Day weekend and I'm a mom, so I'm going to have videos of my kids, I'm going to have videos of time with my family, and I'm going to have a few extra videos from the Birth Without Fear meetup. Didn't get a lot of pictures because we weren't allowed taking too many, and I didn't get any video because, again, we weren't allowed doing that. But we will have a lot of good surprises coming up this weekend, so definitely be watching. Hopefully I'll have everything up by Tuesday, so there should be about a good 4 to 5 videos that I'll be posting. So today we're going to be doing a collab video with Victoria. Her link is down in the description box, and so are the questions from today. I will tell you the questions, and then I'll also answer them right afterwards. And today's topic is parenting and pregnancy first. Okay, so the first question is, what was the first thing you had been told about motherhood that you realized was a myth? The first thing I think I realized was a myth was that babies cry all the time. I've always been told, like, you're never going to get any rest, your baby's going to be screaming all the time, that's all they're going to do is cry, and all they're going to do is poop, and all they're going to do is going to be hungry. And in a way, yeah, it's true, because babies cry, and they cry when they're hungry or tired or when they need their diaper changed and that type of stuff. But the way people made it sound was that the babies never stop crying. And though I'd been around a few babies growing up, I hadn't really had my own baby or hadn't been around a baby 24/7 since my sister was born when I was 6. So I didn't really remember. And so, I mean, it was like, yeah, babies cry, but they don't cry all the time, especially if you respond to them and pick them up when they're upset or just love on them or give them what they need. They don't cry all the time, like everybody tried to say. So the next question is, what was your first reaction when bringing the baby home? Now I have 3 kids, so I'll go from oldest to youngest and do it one by one. With Jameson, my first reaction was, this really sucks. And the reason for that was because as soon as we got home, my aunt who had been staying with us and moved out right before I had him, her husband had taken our sidewalk chalk and wrote all over our porch a very rude and just nasty message to her, and it just caused a lot of drama. So as soon as I got home from having my baby, I had a huge thing of drama that we had to deal with. So it really ruined the mood and the awe of getting to bring home the baby. With Mihaela, my reaction was finally and ouch, because with her I had a C-section, so I was really sore, but I was so ready to go home, and I just wanted to have my baby home and just get to be home and relax and away from people poking and prodding me, and I just wanted to sleep and just be with my baby. So yeah, it was basically just a relief to be home. And with Naomi, she was born at home, so my reaction was when she was born, because she was born at home, so I didn't really bring her home. But when I had her, my reaction was, I'm so glad you're here, sorta. So I guess that's what you could say, I don't know. The next question is, what was your first reaction when you found out you were pregnant? Is that right? My first reaction with Jameson was, oh crap, like, this is not happening, because I was not ready to be a parent. I'm a teen mom. I was a teen mom, so it was not something I was prepared for at all. With Mihaela, it was kind of a, oh, I knew it type of reaction, because we had had a miscarriage and went straight from a miscarriage to the pregnancy with her. So I didn't have a period in between. So the whole time I kept getting a positive test, then a negative test, then a positive test, then a negative test, and finally I got like the big dark positive, and I went to the doctor and got the blood work done, and they were like, yeah, you know, it's confirmed, you are pregnant. And so for me it was like, finally, I knew it, I told you guys. And they're like, you're about 8 weeks, and I'm like, I knew it, I told you guys. I was sitting here saying that I was pregnant for so long. I've been having horrible migraines, and there was no explanation of why I was having these migraines. And so it just all made sense that having these migraines because I'm pregnant, so my hormones are going nuts. With Naomi, my reaction was just, yay, because we actually tried to get pregnant with her. So it was excitement because it worked out. And we had a miscarriage before getting pregnant with her as well. So it was like we miscarried and we were just trying to get back into a normal trying to conceive cycle. And before we could even start that trying to conceive cycle again, we find out we're pregnant again. So, same thing happened with Naomi. We went from a miscarriage to a pregnancy. So it worked out good. What was your first thought when you went into labor? My first thought with Jameson was, oh my god, what do I do? Because I really didn't do enough research on labor and birth and all that. I just kind of figured, oh, my body will know what to do. My doctors will tell me what to do. And that was the naive part of me speaking. But hey, I was a teen, didn't know any better. I know better now. Know better, do better. With Mihaela, it was like, oh, I'll probably just get sent home again because with her, I had premature labor on and off for a while, and they never really had to stop it, but it had been kind of a constant thing. And because I wasn't dilating horribly fast, like I was dilating, but not extremely fast, so they didn't have to worry about stopping the labor or anything. They just figured that, I would go far enough along. So I just was thinking, oh, they're just going to send me home again. I'm not really in labor. Or I am in labor. It's just not strong enough and whatever. And then I got there and, I was really in labor. And then with Naomi, it was just kind of like, finally, because she was the only one of my 3 kids, that was overdue. She was 40 weeks and 3 days, so I was just ready to have her. So when I started going into labor, I was just like, yes! This one is, what was the first thing you bought for the nursery? With all of our kids, we've never really had a nursery. With my son, he just stayed with me, and with both of our girls, we bed shared and stuff like that. And with Mihaela, she was sharing a room with Jameson. Well, sorta, because she bed shared. So Jameson's room just kind of had her clothes in there and a dresser. So we never really bought nursery items. But when it comes to baby items, I think with Jameson, the first thing I bought him was clothes, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. It's 5 years. I don't remember. I hardly remember what I had yesterday to eat. With Mihaela, I think it was a sling. I think I bought the 7 sling because they had that little coupon thing. I think that was the first thing I bought for her. I just can't really remember. And then with Naomi, nothing. We've had everything from Mihaela, so we didn't have to buy anything. Everything else that we've gotten for Naomi that we didn't have for Mihaela, that Naomi got just for her, everybody else has pretty much gotten it for us, like her diapers, clothes, just her own outfits type of thing that's not hand-me-downs, stuff like that. Like everybody else has bought, so I don't think we've bought anything for her. We bought her binkies. That's the only thing we've bought, I think, is her binkies. And this one is, before you found out the gender, what did you want? And if it was the opposite gender, what name did you have picked out? With Jameson, I wanted a boy. I was dead set, like, I want a boy. But with him, I could not think of girl's name. He actually couldn't think of a boy's name. He didn't have a name until I was like 34 weeks, I think, or 30 weeks, somewhere around in there. So all I could think of was girls' names. And so if he was a girl, he would have been named Elizabeth Ann Marie. But of course, I got my boy like I wanted. With Mihaela, we wanted a girl, so we didn't have another name picked out because Mihaela was what we wanted. We wanted our girl. Now with Naomi, we wanted another boy. Of course, we got a girl, but we wanted another boy. If she would have been a boy, her name would have been Callisto Nathaniel, and we're still saving that for if we do have another boy, then that will be his name, his Callisto Nathaniel. So, but of course, we got our girl, and she actually didn't have a name. We didn't get the name Naomi until I was, I think, 34 weeks. And then she didn't have a middle name until she was born. We actually did not decide on her middle name until she was born. I kept naming stuff off. Zach said he didn't like it. And I was really dead set on rivers or rain. I loved the thought of water, especially knowing that I was going to deliver her in water. And I don't know, it just felt right. And so I kept on, like, I really want the name, and he didn't like it at all. And then she was born in the water, and it just was so smooth, and it was just like water, because it was like a rush, but at the same time it was calm. It was just everything at once, which really felt like water. And so when she was born, and we're sitting here, and our midwives were like, "Have you thought of a name?" And we're like, "Naomi, but we don't know middle name." And then Zach was like, "You know what? I like Rivers for her. It fits." And so we decided to stick with Naomi Rivers. So that's where she got her name. And the last question is, what was your first craving? With Jameson, I craved hot dogs. Disgusting, I know, but I craved hot dogs. I would eat like 1 to 2 packs of hot dogs a day. I'm sure I probably destroyed my heart while I was pregnant with him, but it was I could not help it. I would go to Gold Star Chili and Skyline Chili and just eat hot dogs because I loved hot dogs. Hot dogs, anything with hot dogs I had to have. And so yeah, that was my cravings with him. With Mihaela, I craved everything. I craved anything that I could not have. If I couldn't have it, I wanted it. If I could have ramen noodles in my cabinet and not want them, but as soon as they were gone, I wanted them. I craved Wendy's because we don't eat fast food, so it was like, oh, I want fast food. I would crave popsicles because we wouldn't have popsicles, stuff like that. Anything we did not have or that I could not have at that very second, that's what I was craving, which was very frustrating when I was pregnant. Especially seeing as usually when I got it, I didn't want it anymore. With Naomi, I think I craved salad. I think that was my first craving. And then it started kind of going the same way with Mihaela, where I started craving everything that I couldn't have. But yeah, I think I craved salad. I can't remember. You think I would remember since she was just born in January, but I can't remember. Say hi. Say hi. So that was the pregnancy and parenting collab. Definitely for sure go over and check out Victoria's video because I'm sure she has some crazy answers. I had some pretty interesting questions for her, so definitely go check them out. And Naomi said not to forget to subscribe because you definitely need to hit that subscribe button and like the video while you're at it. I mean, come on, what do you have to lose? You're going to like a video. It takes 2 seconds. Push the button.